All right, this video is specifically for coaches or creators who are already running a coaching slash mentorship program. They're selling an info product and they're scaled to about 10 to 15K per month. So in the video, moving forward, I'm going to explain exactly how you can break through that 10 to 15K month barrier and scale to 50, 60, 70, 100K plus months, because really it boils down to one thing, right? If you have a proven product, if you have a proven mentorship info product, and you've been able to scale to 10 to 15K, there is literally just one thing that's stopping you from scaling and breaking past that plateau, going to 50, 60, 70, 100K months with your info products, right? So I'm going to get straight into what that one thing is. But right now, if your funnel doesn't already look like this, and you're selling a high ticket coaching program, something around 2,500 plus for entry into a mentorship, maybe it's you're the coach who's actually helping the person. Maybe you're selling some info products, course content alongside a couple of one-on-one calls. That doesn't matter. This is the funnel you should be using. So it should be Instagram, YouTube, the two most important social media platforms that you need to be using. It should flow from that into a landing page. So you need to be doing CTAs in your story, in your content. ManyChat automations need to be set up. I can make a separate video on that, but that's kind of the most important thing. Landing page with a very good VSL, very good video sales letter. That needs to be, optimized to the max to make sure that we're not losing any people in this conversion process. So if that's not dialed in, again, you need to make sure that's perfect before we get into the main reason why you're not able to break through. If you have a good landing page, if you have a good VSL setup, then that's perfect. You need to be going from there into a Typeform. So this needs to be set up so that the person, the closer, whoever's taking your calls, can actually qualify that these leads have money and they can actually progress to the next step. And then finally, the calendar part here. Now, the most important part, this is what stops people from actually being able to scale from 10 to 15K per month and then break through to 50, 60, 70K, 100K per month. This one thing, right? They have all this stuff set up. They've got an info product that works and sells, decently, but they just miss out in the sales aspect. They have one closer, one DM setter. That's it. Okay. And while that's good starting off on an entry level info product, it's just not conducive to scale. Okay. What you need to be doing is having a closer who can also do a couple of different jobs. You need to be having a DM setter who can also do a couple of different jobs. It can't just be, okay, my closer only closes deals. My DM setter only DMs people on my Instagram. And the best part about this is you don't even necessarily have to increase to the percentage that you're giving away to these salespeople. It's just about finding good reps that are actually going to do a good job, and help your business. And that's actually easy to do if you already have a qualified, a verified info product. You have a proven product that's selling well, right? You just need to have the right people on board. So what does the closer do, right? Let's just start it off there, right? The closer should be number one, obviously closing deals, but they also need to be doing some stuff on the pre-call process. So the way the funnel is set up right now is when this lead gets to the very end and they actually book a call in, what the next step that happens from the closer's point of view is they have a notification sent through on Slack. The closer and the DM setter will both see that notification. What's involved in this notification? It's the lead's email address, phone number, first name, last name, as well as the answers that they put into the type form, which they had to fill out, right? Making sure that they're qualified. The DM setter then, firstly, sees the information that they filled out on the type form. They'll immediately just make sure that's correct. They will call this person up, call this lead up, and very simply just say, hey, name, congratulations on booking your call. My name's Jack. I'm just from XYZ's team. Just calling really quickly to confirm a few things with you. And then what you do from that point is the DM setter needs to go through the questions that they filled out, just confirming the key ones. Do you actually make this much per month? Yes. Do you actually, are you actually prepared to invest XYZ amount? Yes. Things of that nature. Okay. Just confirming that. Once the DM setter actually confirms that the lead is qualified, the next step is pretty simple. From there, the DM setter will create a group chat on WhatsApp. They will add the lead into the group chat, and they will add the closer into the group chat. Now it shifts, okay? So that was the DM setter's role. They're kind of a DM setter slash dialer hybrid, but that's a very simple SOP that needs to be set up for your DM setters. You're wasting their commission right now if you're not doing this already. Okay, so that's the first step. The second one is very simple with the closers. Now that the closer has been added to this group chat, he needs to do a couple of things. Okay, firstly, introduce himself. Say, hey, my name's Jack. I'm one of the success managers with Jim's program, etc. Introduce himself. And then also just start getting a bit of a back and forth going on, okay? Asking the lead questions. Hey, like how long have you been looking into this? Just going back and forth, not qualifying in particular, but just creating a bit of a relationship. And the final thing that he needs to send to this person, right, after they immediately get added to the group chat is, hey, by the way, I'm really looking forward to the call that we have. Just confirming that you're 100% okay to be attending that at XYZ time. You'll be in a quiet space, with at least 30 minutes or so for the call, question mark. Very important you get that, okay? After that's kind of qualified and set up, the next step from there for the DM, for the closer, the actual closer who hops on calls, is just to make sure that the lead isn't getting ghosted and setting up a bit of a relationship prior to the call. So let's say the call's booked in. It should only be a 2 to 3 day rolling calendar. Let's say the call gets booked in 3 days from that point. The closer then needs to be at least talking to this person once per day, this lead once per day. It can be as simple as a message sent, okay? But it goes such a long way because if you do this, if the closer is actually doing his job doing this, what will happen is that the lead is so nurtured and so ready. This is such a different experience for him. These leads in the info product space and just, on Instagram coaches, people who book calls in, etc. in general, they're used to booking a call in, not really having anyone call them up. It's kind of like a very solo experience. But if you actually go the extra step and have a closer create this relationship prior to the call taking place, it goes such a long way for these leads, right? There's a trust deficit in 2025, and there probably will be even more of one going into 2026. So this is something that you need to really set up well. Once that's done, the DM closer, the next part of their job is basically on the day of the call, they need to call this lead up prior, at least an hour prior, just confirm that they're actually going to show up. 30 minutes prior, send a text, hey, I'm looking forward to it. And then live, just send the Gmeet link or the Zoom link into the chat again, okay? That will almost 10x the likelihood of this lead closing, all right? You're going from complete cold, very minimal nurture, maybe just a couple of emails sent to this person who's booked a call in. You're going from that to a real person, creating a relationship with this lead, building confidence, building trust in this period until finally they actually have to hop on the call and they almost already know each other at that point, right? So this not only increases your chances of closing deals, it also really, really streamlines the process of the call because by the time they hop on the call, these closers should already know exactly what's going on. So those are the two main things that need to be switched and fixed. Really, if you're, at 10 to 15 info coach as someone selling a mentorship, someone, who's scaled to 10 to 15K and wants to break that barrier to 50, 60, 70, 100K per month. It's really just one thing, and that's sales, but there's two things inside of that, a DM closer and an actual closer. There needs to be a few more extra things that they're doing in order to maximize profits, right? But if you're a coach, a creator who's watched this, you kind of understand what this is, but you don't really know exactly how to set this SOP up. Myself and my business partner, Gresh, have done this hundreds of times for other coaches. We've scaled coaches to 75K USD plus per month consistently. So if you need any help with that, just DM me. I've got my Instagram linked in the bio below, and we can talk personally one-to-one there.